Welcome back to Delta Green, everyone. This is the Myth Machine channel. I am your handler, Mikael Hellstrom, and this is where characters go to lose hit points and sanity points at various degrees of acceleration. This show is rated R because it's cosmic horror, and horrible things will happen to characters and supporting characters, NPCs, in various degrees. Last up, when we saw someone having basically all their intestines literally melting and just it took you weeks to clean out the back seat of that car. Probably. So much blood. Did you even want to clean out that? It was a company car, so I guess you didn't have to do the job. Good for you. Anyway, with us this time we have, feel free to introduce yourselves, everybody.
Hello, Darian playing Special Agent Brian Fenton.
I'm Harper. I am playing Trinity Talbot.
I'm Briar, and I'm playing Dr. Alice Blair.
Cal, and I'm playing Special Ops Morrigan.
Welcome to the table, Cal. We're very happy to have you here. Yes.
Pleased to be here.
One agent might have fallen, but another will soon come to take their place. This is not quite, I don't know, Hydra, kill one head and two more. They don't have that level of staff resources, but would wish. Last session, so this is September 10th, 1996. Last session ended on a bit of a downer because it wasn't quite rock falls, everybody dies. It was more like virus spreads, everybody dies. We don't know exactly what happened to Groveville, except it was cordoned off by the CDC. A lot of people end up in a bunch of tents, and then the FBI were pulled out because of the contagion risk. Anybody you were looking for ended up apparently dead. One of the members of Z-Cell also, because random number generator is evil, and so am potentially I as the handler. And Z-Cell was thus left scarred after their first op. The good news is you're not being thrown into another op immediately, so I guess that's nice. So this session we will start with the fallout, the what's happening at the home front, and of course we will introduce the new member of the team to the rest of the team as Z-Cell expands and gets reinforcement to replace a replacement, let's say. A replacement. Where do we want to start exactly? It's September 96. We're gonna go from Knoxville to, I guess, back to HQ, close to DC. And we had some people, at least, who had issues with various bonds. Brian Fenton, you've lost a bond, haven't you?
She's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Did we roll for that?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either, so I'm gonna assume that we didn't.
Okay. What do I roll? 70?
Yeah, this is a sanity check for helplessness. No, we did roll for a bond had been killed, and I think you succeeded with that one. So we're just gonna remove the bond. So you don't actually have to roll for it, because you succeeded. I remember now. We rolled for that. Yeah. I think everybody rolled for that, didn't you? Yeah. Blair, Bonds, DeLuca, gone. There we go. And this is going to be interesting, because Fenton and Blair have bonds to each other through Delta Green, right? Talbot doesn't actually have bonds to the other agents, and now Morrigan will join the cell and also not have bonds with anyone. Is this going to be like the 1,000-yard stare where you don't really want to get to know the replacement too well because maybe they'll die soon?
I don't know about that. Also, Blair, do you have a bond to Talbot?
Yeah, I do.
Aw, Blair and I both care about Talbot, and she couldn't care less about us. How cruel.
How cruel. The only one with an actually damaged bond is Talbot. So we should probably play that because that's where the check mark on the character sheet, isn't it? So what happens
Yeah.
when Talbot gets home? And yeah, Finley is still in West Virginia, right?
Yeah, I think she actually comes home to yell at him because she's moving from West Virginia to DC
Uh-huh.
after Groversville, but she gets home and he let Sarah go to Quantico a few years back, and she has just finally lost it with that. Like, how could you do that? You know how stressful my job is, and you let her follow in my footsteps. How could you sign up for this? How could you send her into a job that will just kill her within a few years, or at the very least, kill her soul?
Don't you block her from serving her country like you were doing. After it's gonna be like the Unabomber, the Oklahoma bombing. After that bombing, it was more important than ever to keep track of these lunatics and stop them.
Don't you care about her as a person, not as a tool for this country, but as your daughter?
I'm proud of my daughter. I'll have you
be proud of her when she's dead and in the ground with a stone in Arlington, or will you be proud of her as she is alive?
If it's so bad, why aren't you quitting?
I can't. I got into this, and I can't leave, and you just sent her down the same path.
Oh man, that is the... He doesn't understand. He just cannot at all wrap his head around why you are yelling at him. He's absolutely shocked at this. He's just absolutely shocked. Like, why are you yelling at me when you should be proud that she looks up to you? You're a role model. Act like it.
I had to bury a coworker this week. If I have to bury the girl I raised when your fiance couldn't be bothered to, I will become the problem.
She can handle herself.
I just storm off at this point. I'm done talking to him.
Clearly.
Yeah. Like, screen door rattling.
Uh-huh.
Like, maybe even broke the door. I don't know.
Yeah, that's entirely possible. I have a
that was
feeling
like
that...
5 points of bond damage. So yeah, I think she breaks the door.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a very loud rattling of door as you leave, potentially never to see him again. Because we're going to go into things like downtime activities, and I have a feeling that when we do that, and you take a point of bond damage, there might be one bond that is more exposed to that than others. But we'll see, we'll see. Maybe she will repair this from... It's hanging on by a thread. Just hanging on by a thread. Meanwhile, in a different part of the world... Agent Morrigan has been approached by certain people, let's just say, who have recruited her, as it were. And, oh, I need to be more, I have my notes, but I was in the wrong tab. Very sad. So, I'm thinking this is probably in, why not September of 1996? Agent Morrigan with the HRT, the Husky Rescue Team of the FBI, which is effectively the FBI SWAT, really. This is going to be Quantico. It's late evening, after hours. You have finished your third psych eval in a couple of weeks. Just a routine follow-up, nothing to worry about. You were down at range this morning, aced it, of course, like you always do. But there is an empty conference room this evening, and nobody else is there. Except a tall man in an ill-fitting black suit.
Evening, sir. Who you might be? I'm sorry, I'm a bit tired right now.
He just gestures for her to sit and slides a folder across the table.
Alright, Morrigan sits down, wordlessly takes a look at it.
Well, there's some photos inside, grainy black and whites of the root cellar, Black Pines, the mask, the body of Reyes.
May I ask what this is?
How's your
Sir?
head, Morgan? Sleeping yet? He's a calm and tired voice.
I did not tell anybody about that. I've never told anybody. How do you know?
Because I know what you've been through. We've been watching you since Honduras. You weren't the first to walk into something like that.
I suppose I'm not.
But you're one of the few
Nothing
who
new about
kept
it.
your mouth shut. And one of the even fewer who kept standing.
What else was I supposed to do?
Exactly.
You think I'm crazy.
I don't. This country has enemies that don't bleed. They don't die when you shoot them. The Bureau doesn't talk about them. Pentagon sure as hell doesn't. But they're real and they're here. And you've seen them.
Suppose I did. What are you gonna do about it?
What has to be done? If you want in, you'll never get a medal. You'll never hear your name spoken out loud. You'll lie to your bosses and friends until the day you die.
Already been doing that.
Well then, not much difference is there. Except this time, you might just get a chance to kill it.
Morgan, after hearing this, she just like leans forward a bit and just puts her head in her hand. Asks, "What do you mean by that?"
I am part of a group of people. We're the thin green line between those things and regular people. When we find these things, we destroy them. No questions asked.
How do you know that they can be destroyed? I've lived with mine for years. No matter what I did, it never went away. Only hid. Only ever hid from me.
I can connect you with other people who've been in your situation. This isn't a club that you get to walk away from, though.
Suppose there's no going back, is there?
He just shakes his head. No, there isn't.
Well, can't say I'm prepared for this, but
Nobody.
I don't think I have a choice.
He's gonna reach out his hand and say, "Welcome to Delta Green.
With pleasure.
We'll be in touch." And he's gonna make a weird sign with his thumb and index finger over his eye and say, "Be seeing you." It's gonna be a bit later when she gets brought up to speed on everything else, as it were. Basically, you'll be given a quick rundown of Delta Green's history. The organization formed in the 1920s as part of the US Navy and has then been shuffled around various departments and so on and so forth, depending on current needs, operational needs. It is a classification blacker than black, which essentially means that you don't speak to it to anyone who doesn't have the clearance. The mission is to protect the citizens of the United States from paranormal threats and to maintain the security of the US from paranormal threats and to gather intelligence on paranormal phenomena. And you're going to get a connection to some other people at Quantico, and you're going to get your code name. Agent Zena. The organization breaks down like this. You're gonna know the real names and the code names for all the agents in your cell, Z cell. One member of Z cell will know the agent names for contact people in 2 other cells at most. And then of course there's A cell, which is the cell that tends to distribute missions throughout the organization. Agents Adam and Alphonse are apparently running that particular system. You wouldn't have met Adam or Alphonse. This is 1996, and cell phones and email will be in use, but you don't know your way around a computer, so you can't really assess how secure this stuff is going to be. Only use this phone for Delta Green purposes. Who is the connect these days in Z cell to A cell? I forget.
I don't think we have anybody established. I think DeLuca was doing it because she had
She had the
super secret pool.
Yeah, because she had the computer science, and no one else has the computer science. This is a computer science-less cell, which is fine because it's 1996. Who needs computers anyway? It's just a fad, right? It's just for nerds.
More interested in punching things.
Exactly.
I guess I can take over, considering I was also more downtime. I was going to do more Delta Green-ish activities.
That makes sense. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of studying of the occult. You're the primary occult expert of this group. With Talbot as a close second, because she has studied under your supervision when she wasn't throwing dodgeballs at you.
She's getting pretty close to passing me.
Ah, the master. Who's the master and who's the student, really?
Gotta take out that competition.
Are Talbot and Blair okay with Agent Zosimo being the connect to Delta Green, to the other cells?
I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
I honestly thought he was.
Yeah, no, it was DeLuca because her computer skills. And she was trying to learn more about the inner workings of the Delta Green computer servers. But whoever is running those is pretty skilled, much like she was. Which means that we will have one day in, how about the first week of October 1996, when Fenton and Morrigan, respectively, will be informed that, yeah, Morrigan is going to be introduced to Z-Cell. And I guess, I mean, this is going to be encrypted message, of course, from A-Cell to Fenton, stating that in light of recent events, new opera fan assigned to fan group. And who is going to decide the meeting place for that? Could be Fenton, or Fenton, Talbot, and Blair, or it could be A-Cell. It's really probably easier if you guys arrange for it.
We can just meet at a bar.
The Smithsonian?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, bar. The Smithsonian might be suspicious.
Well,
What?
that's what it says.
The Smithsonian is excellent. I see nothing wrong with this. So we're gonna meet at the Smithsonian, apparently.
No, a bar. We all
yeah.
get drinks.
Yes. Let's go to the Smithsonian and go to a bar and get drinks. What are you using as an identifying marker so that Morrigan can find you, Fenton, Talbot, Blair?
We have a red dodgeball on our table.
That's oddly specific and very unique for Z-Cell, I'm sure. Very well then. I guess this is going to be some skullduggery for Morrigan. She's going to go to the Smithsonian and go to the cafe and find someone who has a red dodgeball on the table. That's very specific and very unique, isn't it?
I suppose I step in, look for the weirdos with the dodgeball. Seriously, what? Anyways, dodgeball.
I agree. What kind of?
Where? Alright, where are you, weirdos? They always put me with the weird ones. Do I find them? Looking
Absolutely.
around.
There's only one dodgeball in the entire cafe.
Alright, so I just stand right in front of the table, and look down at him, and I'm like, You the people? That's the dodgeball, right?
No, it's a cat.
What?
Why don't you just have a seat? Welcome.
Yes. Apologies. Welcome.
Or whatever. Y'all are weird. I sit down.
Yeah, that happens.
What does Morrigan look like to those who have never met Morrigan before?
Morrigan is a very severe looking woman. It looks like she hasn't slept in a week. Her hair is put up, but it's messy. Like she just did it too quickly in the morning. And she's wearing clothes that feel like they're a bit too professional for such a meeting. She didn't know what she was going to expect when meeting you two.
That's fair.
Oh, and the RBF is insane. She's just glaring.
Agent Morrigan, right?
Yep.
Brian Fenton. We have Dr. Alex Blair here. And
Hello.
That is Special Agent Franny Talbot, I say, tossing the dodgeball at her.
You know what? Just to keep you on your toes, I take the hat.
Aw. Hey,
You lose
Hey.
hat privileges.
I just got that one.
Too bad, it's mine now.
Cost me $30. Come on. Careful with it. You dropped the last one in a puddle.
I put the hat on the dodgeball and set it in the middle of the table again.
I'm gonna say that
Accepted.
Z-Cell has been informed that Agent Morrigan is part of the FBI hostage rescue team, HRT. In other words, SWAT. In other words, muscle. In other words, yeah.
Oh, there's muscle. She
Is
is
she one of-
visibly built.
Is she local to DC?
No,
Okay.
she's from Chicago.
Gotcha.
So, I noticed you were in the military. Any, like, special weapons you could help us get our hands on?
Oh, no.
Any-
Not wasting time.
Currently in the military. She was in the military. Now she's with the FBI SWAT.
Yeah.
But
Any special knowledge?
yeah, maybe.
They taught me how to load a mortar. That's what you mean.
Amazing! We're gonna have to
Dude.
discuss this more later.
Do not, under any circumstances, let her near a mortar.
Please do.
Agreed.
Don't listen to him. He wears hats.
Yeah, this team is definitely making a seriously professional first impression, isn't it?
Are you always so like this?
Unfortunately, yes.
It helps us cope.
Fine. Fine. I can deal with this.
Deal with this?
I can deal with this. This is fine. I just need some coffee. Hey, have you ordered yet? Have you ordered yet?
Nope, we were waiting on you. We thought it'd be rude to start without you.
We're
I
not.
want a coffee. And maybe 2 coffees. They said
Right.
they just maybe they should just give me the entire bag. Oh, whatever. I'll do that later. What are we doing?
Buckets of coffee. That's apparently the key here.
Yes.
So, Fenton, Talbot, and Blair, how are you going to introduce Z-Cell to Morrigan, who is now Agent Zaina? How much do you want to share with her about your previous experiences?
Everything.
Yeah, we could start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Does she have to do a sanity check?
No, she does not. It includes strange monsters in a Louisiana basement, some kind of mind-controlling alien that crept into people's chest cavities, and horrible... How would you describe the thing in the town hall?
Ooby gooey.
Microfiber hell.
I'm not even going to elaborate on that. Seems like you don't know either. Really? Oh, okay. Yeah, tell the
Present just-
waitress to add extra espresso to mine, okay? I feel like
You know
I'm
what,
going to
let's-
need some energy to deal with you.
We'll
people.
just get a whole pint of espresso for you. How about that?
Or
Benson sighs and gets
Whatever.
back up because there are no waitresses at the Smithsonian Cafe, so he goes back to the window to order her more coffee.
Yeah,
What
no,
coffee are they
Morgan is
legally
like
gonna?
chugging it. She is chugging down cups. She's had at least like 4 already.
It's just
So, what wonders have you seen that brought you to our happy little cell?
I don't like talking about it. I really don't. Afraid of nightmares will come back again. They'll come back again. I
Yeah.
suppose I should tell you. It was that one time in Honduras, I think. We're going down. Looking. Sorry, it's hard. A bunch of bodies. No signs of blood or anything, just dead. And there were the mirror thing, and the face thing, and the constant nightmares thing, and who am I kidding? I'm so bad at explaining this stuff.
It's alright. There's stuff that sticks with you and you can't really put it together.
Oh,
Happens to feel that.
There was that other time. The cult. Still remember that. He said he had a heart attack. I don't trust that. But oh yeah, there were 2 of them. That's it. And I need more coffee. She starts chugging more coffee.
say you don't feel uncomfortable around heat, do you?
Eat.
Yeah. Like uncomfortably warm all the time?
It was hot down in Honduras. So
Okay, you're good.
That reminds me. Z-Cell. What did you keep from Groversville? Like, you went to a green box and you found some stuff in there, and it's not like A-Cell is asking you to put stuff back. In terms of logistics, there is no... You didn't have to fill out any forms to requisition the things from the green box, so who knows what was in the green box before and after you were there, except yourselves. So if you don't want to return stuff to the green box in Knoxville, nobody's going to force you to.
I definitely kept the incantation. And I would have left behind a box of fireworks.
That makes sense. Did you keep the weird chemicals you could make horribly poisonous gases with?
We may have left those behind.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they're...
why would you leave the poison behind? It'd be so useful.
Poison
Well-
gas.
Yeah,
Next
with
time...
gas.
Next time they visit a green box, Morrigan will have a chance to tell them what's what. What did we do about the SMG? I'm guessing, are we keeping it?
You can pry that thing out of my cold, dead hands.
That makes sense. It's a lovely Swedish model submachine gun that definitely is not part of standard FBI fare. You have, honestly, like the HK MP5s that hostage rescue uses are much more modern, but the SMG, the Swedish SMG, is very off the books. So if you ever have to spray something with 9mm and not have it being traced back to one of your service weapons, it's an excellent alternative. What did we do with the Lysol spray bottles with the solution that identifies Groversville substance, nowadays known as, at least for Blair, proto-matter?
Maybe we left some behind and kept some for ourselves. There were 6 gallons of the stuff. I'm sure
There
we
was
could've
6 gallons of the
split it.
stuff, so
Yeah.
there's definitely, you can, and since the lab could the Knoxville lab manufactured it, there's no saying that Ranger wouldn't make more of the stuff. And certainly, if you want to, how you want to split those 6 gallons is completely up to you. Keep all of it. That's a lot of gallons, but it goes in a boot of a car. If you want to dump some of it in a green box, that's okay too.
Maybe 1 gallon in a green box for the next group that comes through, so they have time to test while Derringer
Yeah.
makes more.
That's the kindness. See, this is the kind of camaraderie that we're looking forward to in Delta Green. Which means that you have 5 gallons of proto-matter reagent in case you ever run across it again. It's an apt name for the substance, Blair, because you now, when you have a chance to digest the whole mission, this substance was used not just to heal surgery wounds, so you can't even see them with the naked eye. You literally have to basically bring out a really powerful magnifying glass or a microscope almost to see the incisions according to what you saw with Billy Ray Spivey. But it replaced his muscles and acted like his muscles. And then it replaced DeLuca's entire digestive system and acted like it. So apparently this matter can be transformed into any biological human function almost. You don't even know what the limits are. There's a pretty good description of it, isn't it? Yeah. You don't have access to the autopsy reports on Jane Allen, Billy Ray Spivey's girlfriend, But apparently she had been found in one of the motel rooms, the one that you never went to investigate. And much like the Luca, she had serious abdominal trauma and had bled out. So whoever was conducting these surgeries on people could apply it in so many strange ways. I guess we have more questions than answers at the moment. But who knows? You might never run across it again. Do you think
You know
you'll
what
ever run
really-
across it again?
You know what would be really terrifying? If we just sprayed it on somebody and they turned purple.
Are you gonna
Should we spray it on Morgan?
Are you gonna spray it on Morgan?
Oh, why not?
Don't you dare.
Initiation right.
Did she turn purple?
She does not. No, not a fleck of purple on her.
Yeah, there's one more test we need to know. Does she have surgical wounds?
If you're
And
spraying
a
it
scar
on
on my
her,
upper lip. That's it.
if you're spraying it on her looking for the protomatter sealant, surgical sealant, you would see it as fine lines, right?
No, the surgical wounds are from the alien from the desert.
Oh, those surgical wounds. Yeah, no, she does not have surgical wounds in a V shape on her abdomen.
All right, we
Oh,
just
What the
trust-
hell are you three doing to me?
Oh, we do this all the time, don't you know?
like Vincent and
Listen.
Talbot are just giggling, knowing that they're tormenting the new person.
Whatever.
You've been through hazing before, Morrigan. Nothing strange under the sun. It's just a bit more eccentric.
Welcome to Z-Cell. I'll pass her a little note paper with all of our different contact information.
Write mine down.
And so-
Heavy sigh. Take another sip of coffee.
Yep.
You ever need to talk about anything? Blair's great.
Blair?
Yeah, I'm the therapist of the group still.
Well, yes, you are. This is true. Just not very talkative, necessarily.
Yeah.
Between sessions. Speaking of between sessions, we now have the opportunity to do some work at home, as it were. In this particular case, we're gonna do only 2 downtime periods. Because apparently, who knows when Delta Green is gonna call you in. I just told you when Delta Green was gonna call you in. Ah, dang it! Anyway. It is the fall of 1996, which is obviously an enormously good year. Let's see, we have... What is happening in the world this year? We have...
I was born.
Oh, everybody's...
Happy birthday.
Let's see now. We have Tupac Shakur dies after a drive-by shooting. Oh, horrible things. The US wins the inaugural 1996 World Cup of Hockey by defeating Canada. We cannot acknowledge that this ever happened.
God. That's awful.
It is, truly. It's our game, dang it. We just need to win the Stanley Cup again.
Should have been better.
Which we haven't done since 93, I think. You pay our players too good, so they all go south of the border and work for American teams again. Anyway. Let's see. Animal Planet and Discovery Civilization are launched on TV. Yeah, that's probably very important for something. The Electronic Freedom of Information Act amendments are signed by US President Bill Clinton. So Luca would have loved that.
Maybe just bring some new, released files down to her grave. Okay. What one of these?
Yeah, there's a presidential election going on this fall. How interested are Fenton, Talbot, and Morrigan in such things? And Blair.
Morgan's just hoping the idiot doesn't win.
What? Who is the idiot in this case? Bob Dole or President Clinton? Who knows?
Who knows?
There's a great new TV channel launched on the US cable systems called Fox News Channel.
No!
I'm sure
no.
it's going to remain completely unbiased and objective in every shape or form.
Oh, I can
Totally.
see the fires burning now.
It's a sanity check started immediately.
Wait, didn't Fox News buy Rocky Horror Picture Show?
I don't know.
Sorry, because for some reason I thought they made it. Never mind.
Anyway, I think aside from Morrigan, the rest of Z-Cell will have a bit of a moment when 66 people become sick and a baby dies because they drink apple juice infected with E. coli in October through November. It's not as dramatic as Groveville, but it does make national news. And when you've just out of Groveville and you've seen so many people getting sick there, how triggered do you get from that?
I wasn't there, no.
I don't
Blair?
think Talbot even hears about it with how busy she is moving from West Virginia to DC.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably for the best, though.
Fenton, Blair?
I'm sorry, I was trying to look at the Rocky Horror Picture Show and Fox News thing. What was it?
The 66 people who died from drinking E. coli apple juice. No, they became sick, not died. Only a baby died.
I don't drink apple juice, but it would have pissed Fenton off.
But it was something fluid. You've just come from Groversville, where you shouldn't drink the
Uh-huh.
water. And then this happens, like, not even a month later. Are they doing proto-matter things over there, too?
Definitely.
How deep does this
We got us
experimentation go?
Conspiracy theorist here. I
Bill-
jump into that rabbit hole.
We all want to jump into rabbit holes. Bill Clinton wins the presidential election, defeating Bob Dole, wins his second term. Almost nobody actually turned out to vote, the lowest voter turnout since 1924. So apparently Americans are tuned out from that particular election. It was a time when politics was just boring. We didn't know how good we had it. I'm just saying, we didn't know how good we had it.
Uh,
Let's see, what else do we have? A cool space shuttle program. STS-80, the Space Shuttle Columbia, conducts the longest mission of the Space Shuttle program ever.
Oh, I really hope they don't get hijacked by aliens.
NASA has just launched the Mars Global Surveyor. Again,
I
let's
hope
hope
that doesn't get hijacked by aliens.
In November, a propane explosion at the Humberto Vidal shoe store, an office building in San Juan, Puerto Rico, kills 33 people.
ooh.
Maybe Talbot has to go there to check things out afterwards. Maybe it was not accidental. You don't know.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like what she does.
It doesn't it? In November, late November, there's an ice storm striking the U.S., killing 26 people directly and hundreds more from accidents.
Wow.
And there's powerful windstorm in Florida. And the stock market is going gangbusters. And what else? A 6-year-old beauty queen, I didn't even know there were 6-year-old beauty queens, but okay, is beaten and strangled in the basement of her family's home in Boulder, Colorado. Horrible things
Oh my
happen to
God.
people when you are not involved, you guys.
Oh, that case, yeah.
Wish I could have set the house on fire.
So that is what's going on in US news during that fall. In lighter news, you can go in the fall here and watch things like The Ghost in the Darkness with Michael Douglas and Val Kilmer. Or
Birthday
Sleepers.
somehow, somewhere in there.
Romeo plus Juliet, the Baz Luhrmann adaptation, which is basically with a modern thing with guns and Leonardo DiCaprio, and I don't know if any of you seen that one.
Nope.
I think I saw it for English class once. 6 out of 10.
Star
Good book.
Trek First Contact. It's a like TNG movie.
I think I watched one with Addie once. Yeah.
101 Dalmatians, the live action movie with, who was that? Glenn Close, I think? Jerry Maguire with Tom Cruise, and the Christmas movie Beavis and Butthead Do America. Also Michael
Eh.
with John Travolta. What an amazing selection of movies you guys have to look forward to in this fall. Is Z-Cell going to any of this stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure. Go to a couple movies.
Yeah, Talbot probably went to the 101 Dalmatians one with Sarah, just as a tradition.
Right. Yeah, that would make sense. But let's see.
Morrigan would probably go with roommate.
That makes sense too. You can.
See the
it's
Star
always
Trek one.
Star Trek. Yes. Aliens. First Contact. Aliens are completely harmless except when they're Borg, because in that case they're very harmful. I don't know if Borg gets too
How
hits.
true that is.
Would Borg hit too close to home for Fenton and Blair?
Maybe.
I don't think I would have watched the Alien stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have you're the alien that infects you with some kind of substance and then mind controls you and assimilates you.
Yeah, no, I don't think Benson would have appreciated it that very much.
I can
Yeah, neither would Blair.
like just leaves the movie theater because it's starting to just breathe a little bit too much. Yeah. So what are our personal pursuits this fall of 1996? We'll go in order of the same as we usually do. Let's see now. So that's going to be... It's going to look a bit weird because I have a different order in my character folders. So it doesn't look like it's alphabetical when I do it like this. But it is alphabetical because I go like first name, because that's how they sorted it in my folder. So, Blair, what is your personal pursuit? If you recall, fulfill responsibilities, back to nature, establish a new bond, go to therapy, improve skills or stats, personal motivation, special training, stay on the case, or study the supernatural.
Therapy.
Therapy.
I'm too close to my breaking point.
I love therapy.
Can't be true.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah, it is
she's
true.
not telling the truth.
All
Like,
right.
it'll just be about just dying, and she'll probably lie and say it was internal bleeding from something else.
Clearly, yes. It was internal bleeding from something else. So it's not entirely untrue. Roll your luck check. Let's see how well this might go.
Okay. There it is.
Unfortunate. Not quite successful.
Of course.
You gain no sanity, unfortunately. It was close, but it was not to be. What bond loses a step, though?
I don't know. We will say. I'm gonna start at the top of the list with Dad.
Ah. Yeah, Dad is he retiring soon? He is in his 60s.
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay, let's make him retired. And he has his retirement party, and you didn't come.
Oh
or
no.
did you?
We'll say she came, but given she just lost a coworker slash friend, she isn't as she's more quiet than normal. She probably will mention losing a friend and just apologize for being off right now.
Apparently, Dr. Blair is Dr. Blair. And Dr. Blair is telling Dr. Blair. Okay, which one was which Blair?
You can do
Dr.
this.
Oscar Blair. Is it that Dr. Oscar Blair is? No, he wants to reach out to Dr. Alex Blair and tell them that he understands and my sympathies and all that sort of thing, but it apparently doesn't quite land. It doesn't quite register. How is there no reciprocity here? Because the score goes down.
I'd say she just isn't as open, or she's already somebody of few words, so we'll just say she isn't as talkative or yeah.
That makes sense. Very well. How about Fenton? What is your personal pursuit for this fall?
Staying on the case because I want to look more into Bookshop Guy and more importantly his connections with Steven.
Mr. Alziz, huh? You were being told explicitly to stay away, but
I was told to stay away from Steven, which I did, which is why I'm going through Bookshop Guy and trying to figure out more information about him.
yes, of course. That's how we're gonna needle our way through that one. That's
Hey,
funny.
my friend died and he saw it coming, and I don't like that.
You didn't take his deal. Okay. Let's see what might come out of this. Question marks are coming out of this. I think you're actually gonna get something out of this. Roll a d6 minus 3. Let's see how much sanity you might gain or lose.
Gain one.
Point. Yeah. Nice job.
Oh, anything positive, I'll take it.
Right? In the bookstore where Corso works, let's see. You will have flyers for a nightclub. It's called Club Apocalypse. And it even has a house band called Charnel Dreams. It's an odd flyer. It's very out of place in an antique bookstore.
And what does the bookstore guy have to say about it?
Just into their music, he says. You will note, of course, that on the flyer and in the, shall we say, graphic design of the flyer, there are some very interesting occult symbols woven into it, very subtly.
See. And I'm sure if I ask directly bookstore dude, he's not going to deny. He's going to deny anything about Steven.
Who?
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. I'm definitely going to look into this.
I'm sure it's going to be perfectly harmless to do. What bond is going down one step?
I suppose we'll have to stick with Laura. We were
But-
supposed to see a Broadway show that night, but I was late and ended up missing a good chunk of it.
Oh my goodness. You're coming to that
You-
Broadway show and she's sitting there and she's not even acknowledging your existence, and you're gonna get the silent treatment for that entire evening and maybe that
Yep.
morning too.
Well, yeah, another trip to New York.
Yep. And this is after you were so wounded in Groveville that it took you a good week in a hospital to get well. She did go to the hospital when she finally found out you were there, including flowers. There might have been some makeup, intimacy involved. But that was then, and this is now.
Oh, let's see. Okay.
Indeed. What was that roll for?
Hold on. There, I PM'd you what I was thinking with that.
Okay.
How's that gonna go wrong?
Talbot, then.
Yeah.
What's going on in your free time?
I'm trying to repair things with Finley.
Okay, fulfilling responsibilities.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So after you've moved out from West Virginia, maybe we're taking a short vacay after all the problems?
Yeah.
Administrative leave after the situation in Groveville?
Yeah. I'm sure Fenton's happy that once Talbot's in town, the dodgeball incidents haven't gone up.
Or he
you know what?
misses it.
He's concerned.
You should be.
You okay? Can you talk about it?
Obviously not. Anyway, that's a sand check, right?
It is definitely a sanity check, indeed.
Yay.
That is a success, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you are going to get D6 back to your bond.
Oh, come on!
That's just a bit sad, isn't it?
Yikes.
I think I
Oh,
broke the
that
door
sucks.
again.
Finley, at least I appreciate you paying for the repairs of the door. Grumpy grumpness.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. It's still a bit awkward, clearly. But your bond with him now is twice as strong as it was at the start of the fall.
Yeah.
From a 1 to a 2, it's a huge progress, isn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Hey, it's higher than what
Amazing.
Fenton and Laura's is.
No,
I
we're the
think.
two. We're the two.
little-
I'm doing better than
Progress
you!
is progress.
See my bond and weep.
Yo, Fenton, Laura is your fiance.
Long time on and off again girlfriend. Currently girlfriend, boyfriend. Probably, at this point, probably fiance, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts, though.
I see a breakup in your future.
Oh,
Gotta
well,
keep that.
Yep.
Don't worry, I'll get the Ben and Jerry's.
Buckets of it, in fact.
Yeah, this ain't my first rodeo.
Aw.
Y'all got coffee flavor.
I haven't dealt with Finley for 20 years and not know how to deal with a dude who just got done with a breakup, okay?
Is Talbot gonna approach Sarah at any time here and just... We don't even have a bond with Sarah, do we?
Yeah, when I initially came up with this, I thought Sarah was 4, and then I did the math and I realized Sarah's a lot older.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's always the possibility for the next personal pursuit to be repairing things with Sarah or having and establishing a bond with Sarah. That's a thing one can do, establishing a new bond. But apparently her Talbot's work at this point is more... She's keeping contact with Mr. Talbot, her dad, with her mom in Florida, and with a therapist as well. Not that it benefits you in terms of sanity points this time. You're keeping in touch with people. You're talking to them.
I forgot I became friends with my therapist.
Yeah, that's not even uncommon for some. Like, you have apparently Dr. Blair and Agent Talbot have different therapists. One is Dr. Hestia and the other is Dr. Lee. Go figure. We could have a triangle thing here with Blair and Talbot going to the same therapist and the therapist going, I'm friends with you, but I'm also your therapist. Anyway.
It would really get weird when we start complaining about each other.
Right? Oh, but as long as
But
you're
then,
doing...
but then the two of you bond over complaining about the therapist.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That's the perfect solution, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then. That means that the turn has come to Jack Morrigan. You've met these other, I'm going to say cellmates?
Oh. Partners
Not cellmates.
in something. Look, I'm here. They told me I had to shoot things. I'm just gonna. I'll be fine with it. I'll be fine.
Yep. And,
Just
yeah, you're not going to get a phone call on the strange new phone you have during this entire fall. I don't even know if you run into the others from Z-Cell that often. I'm guessing Z-Cell wants to keep in touch a little bit every once in a while. How often do the agents of Z-Cell actually meet just to keep in touch and say hello and shake hands and maybe drink buckets loads of coffee and or vodka, depending on the mood?
Talbot and I probably see each other quite a bit.
Yeah. I think at this point the dodgeball is more of a shared custody kind of thing.
And
Morgan would most likely, because she has no clue what she's going to be dealing with, even with the heads up and all the lore that she got from these people. So she is going to do some digging herself, see what you've done in the past, and see how people have dealt with it.
That's a good question.
Try to
though.
prepare herself for the next case.
Because there are no official case files for what they've done. There are some official case files, but they're, let's just say, very polished to leave out anything strange. So pulling out the case file of these people from all the way back in 1991 in Louisiana, that's a serial killer case of like epic proportions because the number of people dead very high. But the killer, was the killer officially caught or not?
I don't think so, because they tried to pin it on the bookstore guy, but they never could prove it.
Yeah, they never could
thought
prove it.
I thought we pinned it on the alligator.
We determined what it was, but the official story.
Yeah, the official story. And the case in Arizona was a huge manhunt. That was a couple of years ago. And it involved, like, another serial killer case. Someone who... cannibalism was involved. And they finally tracked the perpetrator, who was apparently a veteran special forces operator from Native American reservation there, the Apache reservation, who had apparently gone over the bend. At least that's what the official story says, and was killed while trying to escape justice. So, a big firefight and dead. The official papers won't
Useless.
say what happened after he was killed.
This is also useless. How did I even think to here? Oh,
And the most recent case, which was just a couple of months ago, or just a month ago or so, in Groveville, was apparently a drug dealing circle, but somehow very contagious virus emerged from a lab leak from the drug dealers had a lab, and somehow they got access to some kind of very deadly virus that escaped and caused a very great public health hazard, and the entire town was locked down. And that's basically all that is in that file.
that is barely even believable. Alright, I suppose this endeavor was useless. I take another sip of coffee, already sick of this shit, and I'm like, now what do I do? I suppose
You could always ask them about the
I'm just gonna go get.
Blair, Fenton,
What
and
should I
Talbot,
go ask those people?
Sorry.
At this point, Morgan's considering just like trying to get into contact with the others. Maybe that guy who seems to know what he's doing, the one with the hat, you know him.
Him, yeah.
He's bad at names. Yeah, he would probably try to get into contact with you and see what should I do? How should I get prepared for this other stuff that we're doing?
Okay.
Are there any weapons? Are there any?
Yeah, so I'm sure at some
Baseline.
point we can meet up in DC when she's in the, because she's from Chicago. But I'm sure sometimes she'll have to be at the headquarters in DC or something. We can meet up and kind of give her the rundown of our experiences. Having incendiary-based stuff, maybe flares or something easy to conceal you never expect. Definitely have a second weapon with you. I always carry a second gun with me after my first gun jammed in our first ever encounter with the supernatural. And just share our experiences and some of the rougher aspects we've run into, harder lessons we've learned. Don't drink the local water. Always bring your own water and stuff. Maybe
Don't
carry
download
some
it,
kind
please.
of stun gun or less lethal fireworks. Never underestimate the power of fireworks and drunk college kids. Fear Talbot. She is chaos, but she is also a powerful weapon.
What does she like? She's the explosives one, though. She's the explosive guy. The one who blows stuff up.
Her job is to
I'm
investigate
pretty
things that are blown up.
sure. Pretty sure I'm supposed to help blow stuff up.
No, she's not supposed to blow things up, despite her ability to do. We don't want to encourage her blowing things up.
I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be blowing things up then.
I'm sure the two of you will get along just fine.
I'm supposed to. Okay.
And then, I don't know. I'll just try to kind of impart some of our experiences onto her.
That was good to know. Thanks for the info. I will be taking my leave now. If you don't mind, I have things to do that are not here. I does not know how to talk to people.
You were the one who asked to meet up, so yeah, by all means.
Gives her a nod and just like walks off silently.
Man, she does not know how to talk to people.
Get through to her. I know we can.
The caffeine. Blame the caffeine.
The caffeine is sacred. It is blameless. Morrigan is giving me serious Lioness Season 1 vibes. Though, that lioness actually could talk to people, because that was the whole job. But before she became a lioness. Never mind. Highly recommended show for anyone who likes Special Ops and Taylor Sheridan, because Taylor Sheridan does awesome stuff. Anyway, what kind of personal pursuit might we have here for Morrigan? In our Discord chat, I have marked it, pinned it, so you can go to The pin post. It's like the bottom one and then the following two.
It is pinned, yes?
Yep. So essentially, you can do fulfill responsibilities, which means talking to one of your bonds and maybe trying to raise it, which you can't do right now because your bonds are both at maximum right now.
Lovely, lovely.
Oh, I didn't even write down their names.
Yeah, it's Addison and Pew.
On your character sheet. How sloppy of me.
Hmm.
Did we put it down in the... I think we did.
This-
Oh, there we go. Bo O'Reilly is your BFF,
Pew.
right?
Yeah, old friend.
And
The only
Addison
person
Thompson.
I can actually talk to.
And Addison Thompson, your significant other.
Another on and off again date.
You are 35. Mom and Dad is wondering when you'll have grandkids for them.
Yeah.
No, just no. I guess
No.
they're very used to their daughter being decisive in opinions because we're talking about someone who served and everything, so they're like...
I mean, look,
Have they just given up trying to...
I'm pretty sure, like, they're insistent on me trying to, like, get a date. It started, it convinced Addison to date her so that our parents could stop begging her about getting a date. So
Well-
they started dating because of that.
And now
And it's
the
very,
parents are...
very casual.
Oh, which just means that now the parents are asking about when they can meet Addison and when the wedding bells and everything. The whole family thing. Settling. 35 years old. That's the time to become parent age. At least if you're the parents of the boomer generation, which I guess your parents are. They're used to that sort of thing, aren't they?
Oh, sure.
They're
Doesn't
even
mean she's gonna
silent
do it,
generation,
though.
actually. Let's see now. If they... You were...
She's far
Morrigan-
too busy for that.
Morrigan is also late boomer, actually, born 61. So they would be...
Yeah.
They would have maybe be silent generation. Like, her parents were probably kids during the war. So, yeah, they're used to, like, people getting married after high school. Because that's what their generation did. So if you're 35
Well,
and
after
not
high school, I
married...
joined the military.
Yeah, I know. Which is something they approved of too, serving your nation and all that. Anyway, fulfill responsibilities is redundant this first time because you haven't lost any points to your bonds yet. You could go back to nature, and that requires a sand test, and if you succeed, you get some sanity points. You can establish a new bond if you want to, a new group, a new person that is becoming an important part of your life. You could go to therapy to increase your sanity, but I think you... Wait a minute, you're already at... Can you increase your sanity beyond your power level times 5? I can't remember through... Maybe you can. So if you want to go to therapy, that's the thing. I'm sure you went to therapy... No, you cannot increase it beyond power times 5. I think you're already at the max there, so no point in going to therapy for you. Yet. You could improve your skills or your stats. You can
I think I'm gonna
indulge...
do that.
You can indulge in things that you find meaningful, which is also about sanity, really. Special training, which is not improving a particular skill or so. It's like certain things underneath skills that aren't covered by skills specifically. Like lockpicking isn't a skill, but you need special training to know it. You could stay on a case or study the unnatural, basically. Those are all your options.
Well, and she wants to be as prepared as possible. She's going to do some special training.
Okay.
She doesn't know what she's going to need if she's going to be on a
That's fair.
case with these people.
So there's so many interesting ways of special training. So I'll put the examples here in the Zoom chat. No, not the Zoom chat, the Foundry chat. Gee, we don't use Zoom here. So yeah, parachuting, skiing, scuba. I don't think spacesuit operations are necessarily what we're gonna be training, but lockpicks is a thing, electronic security systems, black markets, exotic hand weapons, skiing, parachuting would be up our alley maybe. Though we haven't had necessarily use of that yet, have we? So those are the types of very niched areas for special training. Alternatively, you could go for just practicing an attribute or a skill as a person, or two actually. So skills or stats that you already have on the sheet.
I am going to go get better at killing things.
Get better at killing things. Very well. What kind of killing things? You get 2 skills to practice. You can do either 2 skills or 2 stats or 1 stat and 1 skill.
Alright. I think I might put some... I would like to increase some... I guess... my proficiency in heavy weapons.
Heavy weapons. Oh
Yeah.
my. Okay. Heavy weapons and what else?
And unarmed combat.
Unarmed combat. Okay. Roll for each. Now you want to fail. So roll as high as you possibly can.
Alright. So, where is the rolling thing?
Morrigan is
Somewhere,
taking all the night
somewhere.
classes in weird weapons.
That is the D100, yeah.
Yeah, you go into the character sheet and you just click the little dice, like the black little squares on the skill, on the skills tab. You just click on the skill basically,
Yeah.
and that brings up a prompt.
roll it?
And now I rolled for you.
Roll it. What just happened?
Nothing on my end. So if you go on the skills tab and you click unarmed combat, the word, there you go. Boom. That is a failure. On what skill was that? We don't see what skill that was. So you didn't click on the character sheet. Have you opened the
Oh,
character
this-
sheet yet?
Oh, the character sheet.
Yes, indeed.
I
I'm gonna-
did.
So the character sheet is on the actors. Up on the
Mhm.
right.
Yeah,
and
I see.
Then
I
you
see.
click the name of the character, and then you get your character sheet opened. I'm gonna count that
Alright,
number anyway.
so
Just click. Let's say that was for heavy weapons, and then click unarmed combat, because a roll is a roll, right? There we go. Unarmed combat, you don't learn anything new in at all, but you do learn something for heavy weapons. So apparently, Morrigan is spending a lot of time in the evenings and afternoons, like after hours, just working out with the HRT squad, and you're sparring with them. The mats in the gym. There will be lots of grunting as one or the other of the members of the HRT ends up on the carpet, just really slammed into the carpet, right? Lots of use of boxing gloves and various implements for training how to use that. But in this case, you don't really learn anything new. You just maintain the skill. However, when you go to learn about mortars and bazookas and flamethrowers, something clicks. So feel free to roll 3d6.
Alright.
And then you can just click the square below the chat box on the bottom right.
1, 2, 3, and roll.
You learn for 8 new points heavy weapons.
There you go.
Yeah. Now we want to use heavy weapons in an op, right? Talbot too. Talbot is actually weirdly better with heavy weapons used than Morrigan. Go figure.
Heavy
However,
weapons buddies.
all right, it's just weird. However,
6.
because you're doing this,
Oh.
and because you're spending so many nights away, Morgan, you're not keeping up with one of your bonds here. Is it Thompson or O'Reilly who's getting the short end of the stick now?
I live with Thompson, but I probably haven't picked up O'Reilly's calls in a while because I do not know how to use my phone.
This is the era before smartphones, the era before texting and Facebooking and FaceTiming and Zooming and all that stuff. So instead, when you come home these nights, as the nights get longer, because winter is coming, right? There's going to be messages on the answering machine. Sometimes you obviously don't have a close relationship with your parents because they're not your bonds. Yeah, you don't have any kids to have a close relationship with either, because also not a bond. But your best friend, you can just click. What would your best friend say on a message like that? Yeah, hi Jack, it's me, Bo. I'm just curious. Figured there was there's like a cool. What are the types of things that Jack would do with Bo? Would they go to the movies? Would they just hang out in a pub? Or...
Oh yeah, they basically, since they were friends from college, they usually go out to eat a lot.
Yeah.
Really, he was the reason why Jack even goes out to do things in the first place. Because Addison is really a homebody. But yeah, they're usually going out and doing things. So I'm pretty sure the fact that Jack isn't responding to her messages is really unusual in View's point of view.
Yeah. Yeah, O'Reilly is basically going to be there. I found this really cool new restaurant. Like, it's just a hole in the wall. Nobody knows about it, but it's perfect. They have the great chef, awesome atmosphere. I just wish you were here. Things like that. Things like that. Morrigan feels left out.
Yikes.
Sadly. No, it's FOMO, feeling of missing out. That's not a common thing for Delta Green agents at all. Or other, it's like the signifier for Delta Green agents, let's not lie. How are we doing for Christmas this year, 1996? The year's coming to a close. Once more, no call from A-Cell. Everybody's happy with that, probably.
Can we have a Z-Cell Christmas party?
I'll
Why
join.
not?
Sure.
Oh, what? Oh, screw it. I'll join too.
You're part of the
Instead
cell,
of a
so
star.
why shouldn't you?
Instead of a star, I put the dodgeball up there.
There you go.
And the hat, just to...
Oh, the dodgeball has a hat now?
Yeah.
Yeah, my hat.
Oh my god. This
do not
dodgeball is going
Think
places.
to balance the dodgeball on top of the tree as your star.
A little fun gift exchange, and then a toast to DeLuca.
Pour one out. Morrigan knows what it is to lose someone you work with, right?
Yup.
Yep. And I think the rest of y'all, like, after a while, you will get familiar enough with Morrigan that she's definitely seen some stuff, right? And those eyes, the 1,000-yard stare, is not quite there, but it's close enough, I guess.
She's in Delta Green, so no matter what,
Yeah,
she's seen stuff.
she has indeed. Christmas decoration with the dodgeball and a hat. Are we getting to a place where we're gonna call the dodgeball Wilson and paint like eyes and a mouth on it? And then you're gonna lose the dodgeball when you're trying to get away from the deserted island and floats away in the storm? Wait, no.
Are you saying we can collectively take a bond to the dodgeball?
No. The dodgeball is not in fact a
Dodgeball.
person.
What are we gonna name the dodgeball?
Call him Zed.
Zed.
Zed. What? Agent Zed?
Yeah.
Zed. Zed is
In
not.
honor of our English impaired game master.
What? That's not. You don't know how to speak the king's English. That's all it is.
Wow.
Said the Canadian. Anyway, long live the king, dang it. And for those who are
Sorry.
curious, yes, Canada has its equivalent of Delta Green. No, I'm not going to tell you what it's called.
Oh.
But it came out of the Weather Service. Because of course it did.
Naturally.
What else would we use? That's what happens when Americans write about Canada. Blair, how might things be with the family over Christmas? Who are we celebrating with this Christmas?
Yeah, I suppose it's just spending it with our family.
The rest of the Blairs?
And
Merry
the Z
Christmas.
cell, but yeah. Yep, just a Blair's Christmas.
Yeah, and Dr. Blair is retired. It's the silvery hair. He's getting on now. Dad is. So is Mom. And they're gonna give... He already gave you a stethoscope when you got your doctorate, right? When you were done, we're
Yeah.
finished with med school and everything. So when you were officially a licensed doctor. So what can he give you now?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna have to think about it, that one. Fenton, is Fenton making up anything with Nye during Christmas?
Yeah. No, we don't hate each other. We've just been having a hard go.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have an actually a pretty happy Christmas, and we'll get together.
Nice.
Uncle Guy is actually gonna host a party at his place this year, so Addie will be there with whatever boyfriend she happens to have this month.
So she's more variable than you, then.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
I think just we all get together and we have a very nice and happy Christmas.
very
and
happy
you know-
Christmas. Yeah.
The first time in a while, Fenton gets to enjoy normalcy again.
She's 28 now. Your sister.
Maybe this one's more serious. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
If she's anything like my real sister, sure isn't.
That- Talbot? The Talbot Christmas. You have to do
Hello.
2 Christmases. You have to go both to Dad and Mom because they live in different parts of the country.
Yeah, and she bundles James and Sarah up for each one because I guess she's also packing along Cindy, the fiance, as well, begrudgingly.
I have a feeling Cindy is not very nice.
She's been doing well recently, but I've got my eye on her. There are things I don't forget. I'm gonna fulfill responsibilities to Finley again.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But
That's fair.
you keep your eye on his significant other, as it were. And she's apparently not ruining Christmas, so that's good, I guess. What is
Yeah.
a Morrigan Christmas like? Your
Oh.
parents are back in Chicago.
Morrigan's gonna be trying to make up for lost time by spending as much time with the people around her as possible. Like, maybe she'll have a little thing with Addison before going off to spend some time with her parents. Bit of a busy Christmas for her, especially because her parents keep hounding her. It never ends.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
It's just,
So she finally decides, just to get them to shut up for once, to bring Addison with her.
how might they react to meeting Addison?
Number one, Addison's a woman.
Yes. I think they'll be.
I don't know how
well, I don't know. You decide
They'd
how
be
the parents are
confused.
about that. What was that?
They would be a bit confused as to why she brought another woman home. And when they asked the reason, she said I had to bring her. So I did. And the entire Christmas, thing. It's a little bit awkward afterwards, but the parents end up brushing it off. It's not serious.
It's a
They're not gonna
silent
know.
generation thing where they're just
They don't understand it's a thing.
they ignore it and just it'll probably go away or whatever. It's just a phase. Or
Yeah, something like that. They're like, oh, God has always just been a little bit strange. It's fine.
okay, yeah, they take it in a stride. But they're gonna be polite. They're gonna hug Addison and give Addison some kind of presents. Don't know how well thought out those presents might be, but they're trying at least. They're trying.
It's very awkward for Jack the whole time. Jack is just very awkward in general. It's
Addison
nothing
is trying to
new.
be supportive to Jack at least, and just say, at least we tried, and this is. We have to be patient with them because their generation and all, but I'm sure it's going to be fine eventually, right? It's going to be fine.
Yeah, sure.
I think this is the era of don't ask, don't tell in the military, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There was a lot of not asking and not telling on her part.
Yep, no doubt. Talbot mentioned that she had another personal pursuit coming up, but Blair is the one who gets to do it first because you know what? We're heading into 1997. 1997. We're like in the future now, aren't we?
Oh,
Yeah. Shockingly,
Technology.
technology. Exactly. It's a big year. This is it. I don't even know if it's the big year. I remember it though. What happens so far in this year? Let me tell you. Yeah, President Clinton obviously begins his second term. Super Bowl 31. Green Bay Packers versus New England Patriots. Who is watching this Super Bowl?
I'm playing
Hate
Delta
sports.
Brain. Do I seem like somebody who watches sports?
No. So is this the nerdiest gang ever?
probably
Nobody
maybe
watches
watch.
sports?
View watches a lot of sports. Probably forced Jack to come watch with her just
Ah.
to make up for the fact that she wasn't there for a few weeks. She didn't pick up the machine for a few weeks.
That
Now
makes
you have
sense.
to come with me, and it's mandatory.
Right. Yeah. Green Bay Packers win. This was all played. I don't know. I don't know anything about football, so I have no idea why Green Bay Packers from Wisconsin would face off against New England Patriots in New Orleans, Louisiana. I don't know why they would play there, but that's just me. In hockey, you play at the home arena of the teams for Stanley Cup. Anyway. All right. February. Let's see. Oh, a Santa Monica jury finds former football legend O.J. Simpson liable for the deaths of Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman. We're now past the whole if the glove don't fit, etc., etc.
You must acquit.
Exactly. Motorcycle stunt rider Corey Scott is killed in front of a crowd of around 30,000 people at Orange Bowl Stadium in Miami, Florida, when the stunt goes terribly wrong. Yeah. The United States Army suspends Gene C. McKinney, Sergeant Major in the Army, its top-ranking enlisted soldier, after hearing allegations of sexual misconduct. The stock market keeps climbing. The astronauts are tuning up the Hubble Space Telescope. There's a shooting in the Empire State Building. A gunman kills one person and wounds 6 others before taking his own life on the observation deck. Skyscrapers in New York will always be standing, right? So, no worries there. Here's something a bit more close to home. FBI agent Earl Edwin Pitts pleads guilty to selling secrets to the Soviet Union. And there's a North Hollywood shootout. 2 heavily armed bank robbers conflict with officers from the LAPD in a mass shootout. Anybody seen Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino and Val Kilmer? Yeah, I kind of like that. What was that?
I haven't seen it, but I can imagine.
It's a cool movie if you like gangsters and like cops and robbers stuff. And yeah, it's some very well choreographed fight scenes there. The shootout from the bank robbery is a classic. Michael continues doing well at the box office. The Relic, some kind of less impressive horror movie, comes out, monster horror. I'm sure you're all interested in watching a thing about an occult relic in a museum that has monstrous properties and becomes like a monster thing, right?
Yes.
We are
100%.
due for a Smithsonian trip, after all.
Watch party!
A launch
After what
party.
Jack sees
Night
is
at-
nothing.
Night at the museum!
Like
Come on, Blake.
Z-Cell sits in the movie theater and goes, "That's so unrealistic. That's not how monsters actually work."
Not gooey enough.
Not
Oh,
cool.
no.
Oh, Beverly Hills Ninja. Oh my God, such a not classic. Sorry. Jerry Maguire is still on top of the box office. And this is 1997, folks. It's the first time you have a chance to go see Star Wars Special Edition. The one with all the new CGI effects, because apparently there is CGI in the world now. Opening on the big screen in February 1997. First time in it's like the 20-year jubilee of Star Wars.
Guess
Watch
we're getting dragged along to
party.
see it.
I definitely did go and see it for realsies, because I was old enough. I've even seen like Star Wars on the big screen in the 70s. That's how old I am. I'm practically dead already, okay? That's just long white beard and 1 foot in the... Anyway. So yeah, it's basically a Star Wars marathon this winter, spring. Starts with Star Wars... That's the original title for the movie, right? Before it was called The New Hope. And then The Empire Strikes Back later in February. And then in March, there will be Return of the Jedi. So you have all of the stuff. Also, Dante's Peak is coming out this time as well, which is a movie about a volcano that explodes with Pierce Brosnan and what's her name? Linda Hamilton. Great stuff altogether. What kind of music are you guys listening to? You don't even know. Spice Girls have started. And Eminem.
I don't think Talbot has moved on from the 80s yet, I'm gonna be honest.
That makes sense.
Benson is definitely singing along to Wannabe. Is that even here out yet? Wannabe, when did that come out?
Speaking of Ben and Jerry, they're introducing Fish Food, a new flavor of ice cream named after the rock group Fish.
Just keeping that in my freezer for the next person who has a mental breakdown.
Oh, Aqua was around at the time.
I don't know that I would want to necessarily eat an ice cream called Fish Food, but maybe that's just me because I don't like fish. Who gained the awards that year? Oh, that's in March. We haven't quite gone there yet. Okay, let's see. Blair, what is your full...
Therapy.
Therapy again. Let's do
It's
it.
the same thing.
Yes.
Please. Thank God.
Yes, it works. You regain
Okay.
some sanity from meeting with your... you gain a D6, in fact.
Oh, okay. Oh, please.
Nice.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
That's what we're talking
was-
about.
3 points away from breaking point.
Yeah, you needed that. You definitely needed that.
And I'm just gonna say 1 point to Mom.
Right. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Blair are again wondering why, like, how are you doing, sweetie? Answering messages on the answering machine. How are you doing, sweetie? We don't hear from you so often. I hope everything is fine with work. Maybe you've met someone?
Nope.
Blair is old. You were
Yeah.
born in 55, so definitely boomer. But it was October, so you haven't turned yet. But you're 41 years of age now. Yeah, your parents will just have to get used to disappointment. Ain't gonna be any grandkids from this one. None at all. But Willow might have kids now. Possibly.
True.
I'm gonna say that Willow is getting hitched.
Yes.
Married, getting kids, everything. There's not going to be silent judgment from the parents at all here. Like,
Not at all.
why aren't you more like Willow? Is not a question that is hanging in the air during the wedding. Fenton, what are you going to be up to?
I have a question. If the other player agrees, can I invite somebody to help me with stay on the case if we can both do a roll?
Sure. One
So-
of you might succeed, right?
I'm gonna follow up with that club that we've found the pamphlets for with all the occult symbols and stuff on it. And I'm going to invite the other occultist in our party, if she wants, Talbot.
Question is, are we keeping A-Cell in the loop with this at all, or no?
If I find anything of interest or value, I'd report to them.
Okay.
But no, this could just be a nothing occultist stuff.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see,
sure.
won't we?
Invite Talbot if she wants. I don't know if you wanted to do your own thing though as well.
Nah, nothing sounds as interesting as alcohol and the supernatural, so let's do it.
This is all
Right,
in New York,
weekend in-
obviously.
Weekend in New York.
I think Talbot actually did some research into what clubbing clothes are in the late 90s.
Right?
And yeah, like full undercover hello fellow kids.
I'm gonna wear a beanie. Yeah.
Hello, fellow kids. That's how we do it.
Beanie, like what the fuck is that? Why are you clubbing with a fucking beanie? You look like you drink milk.
All right, so we're gonna have two people who
Me.
are doing things with that. Let's see what happens with that, shall we? Interesting. I'm checking my notes a little bit here, just for no reason at all.
That's right. Keep you on your toes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna make a note for absolutely no reason. Yeah. I want both of you to roll a d6 minus 3, because regardless of what happens, you're gonna have
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
some kind of reactions to this. That is unfortunate.
I'm having the time of my life.
Clearly. Talbot is just absolutely... Talbot is all like,
Isn't-
what's the matter with this thing? Why are you having problem with a nightclub? It's actually an amazing nightclub, Talbot. It
Yeah,
turns
I don't-
out that getting into Club Apocalypse is really hard because it's very exclusive. And everybody wants to go there. Apparently this new band, the house band, is hardly known outside of like a, shall we say, like music nerds who are into that particular type of music. So you would never have heard of them until you get there, and that you might be able to get yourself in there. Fenton, what kind of reaction would... I think you're both gonna find yourself out of place in this club because it's definitely very select. It's like a weird goth club.
I'm
Are they
guessing they
impressed
don't
with my-
serve milk. Sorry.
Are they impressed with my beanie and my black trench coat? Yeah. Uh-huh.
The black trench coat, yes. Maybe even the beanie. Yeah.
Take that. Throw the dodgeball at Talbot again.
Throw Zed back at you. You
Knocks
still
the
look
beanie
like
off
a
head.
milk drinker.
Yeah, okay. So...
It's good to know that Fenton and Talbot get along famously. We like this.
So what do we find in
What
our
you find,
adventure?
Talbot finds herself incredibly drunk and loving the music, probably. That's about it.
Pina Colada's here!
Great. Is that why I lose sanity? Because I have to babysit drug Talbot in New York City?
That's why I'm having such a great time.
But Fenton, you're having a word with one of the employees at Club Apocalypse, probably a bartender, and it's clear when you're starting to ask some questions here and there, the bartender very quickly shuts you down and go, just enjoy the music, man. Which is exactly the kind of thing you want to say to a Fed to make them not look deeper into things. Which means that you are looking deeper into things. And as you're poking around, both here and there and everywhere, washrooms, vents, everything, stuck behind something, like underneath almost, there's a folded, blood-stained scrap of black silk with a small shard of mirror glass. It's like it's been exposed to acid. And there's like someone has scratched a phrase into the glass. Do not speak their names. Symbols here. Someone has tried to do some kind of a word, but it's incomplete.
I don't suppose I would know how to complete the ward.
No, it's like a shard of a much bigger thing.
Hmm. I'm gonna keep it.
I bet you will. It's just this eerie feeling that this entire club is... It does attract Corso, let's just say. And he's talking to other people, and he gets access to VIP spaces you don't have access to.
Time to start bonding with Corso.
Of course. Yes, that's the rational, absolutely very rational conclusion to draw.
Alright, now where's Talbot? Is she still alive?
Yeah, very much alive. What did you get drunk on, Talbot, this time?
This time, I think I said pina coladas, so it'd probably be rum. Thinking.
I think you're gonna
Yeah.
drink something much better than that. Pina coladas. That's. How about the black?
Wow.
How about the black
Wow.
spiral?
Have you never heard the song?
I have, but how about the black spiral? That's a cool drink name.
What is it?
It's a jet black cocktail with a faint purple iridescence. It's
Talbot,
ridiculously expensive. One of those drinks is about as much as a full dinner at a three-course dinner.
Talbot does like shiny things and firmly believes that everything is edible at least once.
The last ditch which is a pale whiskey sour variant with smoked lemon juice and rye whiskey and chartreuse and black salt.
I'll go for the shiny one.
Mirror Blood, a bright red cocktail.
The fact that these have names is concerning.
The
But I'll go for
Quiet
the-
Man.
Go for the purple shiny one.
The Black Spiral, of course.
The black
Yes.
spiral. And when Fenta comes back, I'm like, these drinks are fucking weird, man. They've got names and shit.
Do they have any bourbon-based stuff?
They have a whiskey sour, but it's got like salt in it. Yeah, I
Hey,
know.
so look what I found in the bathroom, and I'll just pull out the little silk fragment and show it to her.
Why is there blood on it? I get that there's stuff on the mirror, but I feel like the blood is a bit more concerning.
Well, I think we're definitely in the right place for asking
yeah.
questions.
Oh yeah, cult-wise, we're in the right place. But someone tried to hide this.
Possibly.
Where's the rest of the mirror? Why hide it in a public restroom of a bar?
To be fair, this wasn't necessarily the most public place.
Yeah, but it was also in a public restroom. Why wouldn't it have been hidden, like, in the back with the safe or something?
It was most likely, like, Fenton's conclusion is it was dropped from, somebody dropped it there, and then people have stepped on it again and again, so it got stuck in between the baseboards and behind the actual toilet seat and things.
Maybe it was part of a transaction if it got dropped.
Maybe. I'd be curious what it takes to get into the VIP section and what's going on there.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Probably not, but I'm fascinated to see where it goes.
I'm thinking. We get
Anybody
them around.
wants a Shub's milk?
What?
I was gonna say a round of drinks, but now I'm more concerned about this milk drink.
It's a thick, creamy off-white drink with faintly pale green tint.
Offended. I think I found the drink for you.
No.
Anyway, we'd probably need to make a deal with them and get on their good side to get into this VIP section.
Corso, the bookshop keeper that I've been talking to, he's apparently on the VIP list. Maybe I can speak with him sometime and figure out more.
I don't know if he's partnered with that Alziz guy. I don't know if he would. Don't take this the wrong way, but I don't think he would like you. Just because you turned down that deal. Maybe I should talk to them. Of course, you can still talk to them. I'm not trying to force you off the case. I'm sorry if it sounded like
No.
that.
By all means, if you want to try. I've been talking to him for a couple years now on and off and haven't really gotten very far with him.
Yeah, 'cause I think Morrigan and I are the only ones that Elziz hasn't approached. So, I don't know, maybe.
Just be careful, remember. Alpaso was very clear about how dangerous this man can be.
Well, Asa wasn't there. What did they lose by telling us not to take the deal? They didn't lose anything, but we lost a member. So, if they want to deal with Elziz, they can do so themselves, but I know what I'll be doing.
Fair enough. And I'll give her all of the Corso's contact information, everything, with his bookstore, phone number, etc.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is definitely a thread you want to pull hard on. Yep, absolutely. While you're pulling on threads, Fenton, which bond is slowly deteriorating?
Guys, because he was very adamant that I'm going to be going to a conference thing for
Oh.
my career, and I didn't go. Came here instead.
Listen, Fenton, listen to me, he says over the phone. Jesus Christ, I don't know how often I have to say this to you. You could make a special agent in charge at some point. That's definitely in the cards here, but you're just going off and doing other things for some reason?
Look, it's hard to explain, Uncle Guy, but just trust me, okay? It's important work.
He's sighing at the other end, signifying he definitely doesn't trust you. Hence, score down 1 point.
Because bar hopping is an important part of the Delta Green job.
I
Well,
say that as Talbot's
that
screaming
it could
something
be.
random in the background.
Right. Is that... Where are you right now? Is that music I hear?
I gotta go. Talbot's throwing up in my hat. Stop! Not another one!
That's ugly enough.
That's just sad. That's just sad.
The hat. I don't think the hat survives.
Not another one. It's alright.
So,
There's just a graveyard of hats somewhere.
what bond is deteriorating for Talbot, then?
I think it would be her dad.
Oh.
She's 35. Finley got married. And he was really banking on her marrying Finley. And
Yeah.
she's not interested. He's married. So, like, where are the grandkids? She's 35.
Yeah.
What is she doing with her life? What was New York about? Stuff like that.
I don't hear from you for weeks, and when I finally do, you're in New York partying? Seriously, you're not 19 anymore, Cora Franny Talbot. You're an adult now. You gotta start taking some responsibilities for your life. You hear me, girl?
Look, because I'm an adult, I got into that bar, okay? I am doing just fine with life.
Imagine you called him all drunk at the bar.
I feel like
that's
Finn would be
even
dragging
worse.
me like,
Oh,
I
no.
am doing fine.
Slurred. I'm doing fine with my life. Why would you
Some
call him
dog
when you...
pub in New
Oh,
York.
I only ruined one hat. Okay, don't listen to Fenton, he's a fucking liar.
It's the third one!
First.
Cora Franny
The other
Talbot.
ones were accidents.
Are you drunk right now as you're talking to your father?
At least I'm not high.
Oh.
Now, what is that supposed to mean, girl?
You know what that means. That... You know what that means. There was a reason.
Damn
There
it.
was a reason I got really into horticulture, Dad.
God damn it. Does he usually call you Cora or Franny?
Franny, I think it was a situation where he picked her middle name and her mom picked her first name.
Alright, so
And now
he's
that they're
Franny.
divorced, it's
Yeah.
one parent calls her the other name.
So, Dad calls you Franny and Mom calls you Cora. Good.
Yeah.
Franny. Look, you're my daughter. I just want what's best for you, you hear? And this ain't it. God put us here on God's green earth to do our best, to work hard and provide for the next generation. Where's the next generation?
As far as I know, I'm gonna get blown to hell one of these days, and I really don't want to leave a kid behind. You and Mom are just too old to take care of a kid. Finley's shit at parenting. And really, there's nobody who I can trust with my job to talk about. So...
I don't understand.
My line of work, we don't do stable relationships.
Okay, maybe we're gonna just take this off of you now.
No, give me back the phone.
Quit, don't bite! What is wrong with you?
I want to tell him all the state secrets.
No, that's it. Give it here. Give it here.
No!
I can see him writing because he's born in the 40s, right? So he's writing you
Yeah.
a long letter with a ball head pen and sending it to you. You're gonna get it sometime in February probably. Dear Franny, and he's not the most educated man, right? He's a blue collar guy, so it's not gonna be the nicest handwriting. He doesn't write very often. The fact that you're getting a letter from him, that is unusual. But yeah, he's just gonna try to express in very, well, the limited vocabulary he has access to, that he worries about you, and he will end it with, "God bless you, my girl," because he still wishes the best for you.
All I do is send back a Polaroid of Zed. Under it is written, "Your only grandchild."
Oh my,
God.
that's just hurt. What? How did he hurt you? He didn't. You're just, yeah, okay. Talbot is not being nice to Dad.
No, I get really upset whenever he brings up kids.
That makes sense. That does make sense.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
She raised Sarah, basically. Like, through college, she kind of just babysat most of the time. And her dad was, like, not supportive of that, so now she's like a kid. But it wasn't mine!
But it wasn't yours.
Yeah.
Morrigan, you have a chance to do something, a personal pursuit as well. Another personal pursuit, if you will. Are we doing more training? Relentless training? For what is to come? Hello.
Oh,
Oh,
hear
there we
me?
go. Yeah, now I can hear
Oh, I'm here. I forgot to put my mic down.
you.
Yeah. I learned from last time. Let's go hang out with you.
With whom?
You.
Oh, it's just 1 point in your bond. So, if you want to, just from a mechanical point of view, you would max it out, absolutely, if you succeed. But if you want to use your personal responsibilities a bit more optimally in terms of mechanics, not that I'm a min-maxer normally, but since this is like the first time for you to play the game, you might want to consider doing one of the, like, more improving skills or stats, something like that, because I think that would give you more bang for the buck.
I gotcha.
Because you're very likely to increase your bonds by 2 or 3 points when you finally do that. So it's usually better to wait until they've slipped a bit more than just the 1 point. Though I see what you mean with the whole. Just a piece of advice.
Alright. Okay, then I changed my answer. I'm gonna go and do some skill training.
Alright, what skills this time?
Alright, I would like to increase my dodge skill.
Dodgeball!
Oh no.
Oh,
Morrigan
hell yeah!
joins the dodgeball club. Or not. Maybe maybe Morrigan just runs a lot on the, like, a course and
The obstacle course.
the obstacle courses.
Unless somebody wants to throw dodgeballs at me, I'm not going to complain.
Yes.
Oh, Blair, are you feeling left out now? Because you're the only one who's not done the dodgeball courses?
Oh my
I don't
god,
think
we
she
haven't.
feels left out, but I think she prefers not getting involved with that.
We need to include Blair in this, guys. Like,
We could ambush her at her office.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
Okay,
pretty
we-
sure you have to convince me to join the dodgeball once you realize that I'm trying to, like, get better at maneuvering. I would go with you, but you'd have to convince me.
I was never convinced. I was forced into dodgeball club.
Yeah, the convincing is mostly just snatching her up and dragging her there.
yeah, we can stop
Put
by
it
a
over-
coffee. We can stop by a coffee place and get some coffee. Here's the deal: if you catch the dodgeball,
I see.
if you catch
A
the dodgeball, I'll get you a red eye at Starbucks. How's that sound?
I see. Yeah, she's looking visibly more willing to do dodgeball now.
Yeah.
I'm fixing
Plus,
things.
if you join, we can bother Fenton.
It's worth it
guess.
for that alone, isn't it?
I guess I don't know him that well. What would be the point of bothering him? Does he do something funny?
You eventually
You just like the
start
look on his
dwindling
face?
down the. You learn to aim for hats. That really helps.
Oh, maybe that would be useful, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, let's do this thing. Yeah.
Present unto you the Z-Cell mascot, as
You just
created by
saw
one of the
that?
players.
Wow.
It's a thing now.
Yay.
Well, I'm pretty sure Addison has one of those in her room somewhere.
It's okay. We can use Zed.
He's always putting faces on things. Okay. Let's,
Dodge is one skill.
what am I
is-
supposed to do with this?
What is the other skill, if any,
Dodge
or
is-
statistic, if you want to raise a statistic, because you can do that too.
Statistics. Alright. Let's see what the statistics. Alright. I am going to simultaneously raise my dexterity.
Oh, very well. So
Yeah.
dexterity and dodge. Right. Let's roll for the stat times 5, which is the little click to roll a times 5 check. The 65 with the 2 dice next to it. Onto the statistics. Alas and alack. You have a success on your dodge, which means that
I
you
keep
don't learn
getting
a thing.
hit with dodgeballs. I keep forgetting to duck, and I keep getting pelted with dodgeballs.
Actually, no. You keep not getting hit by the dodgeballs because you succeed with the dodge roll, and therefore you learn nothing.
Did we launch a successful
Wow.
attack?
Clearly.
Yeah.
How about the dexterity, then? Go to the dexterity and do what you...
Dexterity. Do-do.
Are you
Oh my
kidding?
God.
Oh,
That's
That
gotta
was-
be worth something. Come on.
oh.
The exact
a
opposite
waste.
of what you
A
wanted.
natural one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that is exactly the opposite of what you wanted.
Is
So...
this like a buddy that. Sorry.
Yeah, go-
Yikes.
Is this like a buddy the elf snowball fight kind of situation?
yeah,
You know, from the
apparently.
movie Elf?
Like,
Yeah.
Morrigan is amazing at this. Like, she has
Clearly,
nothing
yeah.
to learn from you guys. Like, zero.
Yeah.
She's too good.
She's just too good
Dodgeball
at it.
master. Like,
Because he's standing still and still dodge.
Yep. Nope. That was like, yeah, okay. I guess I'm good at this. Even though I did all this, and who is it, Bo or Addison, who is not getting your attention this time?
Addison. Yeah.
Okay.
Been at home and away.
You've been away so
Too
often.
long.
You're coming home to... What does your home look like? How big is the home? You earn good money.
It's a fairly sized house. It's big enough for 3 people to live in, despite only having 2 occupants. Morrigan doesn't decorate much, but the roommate has picked up the slack of that. She's got posters and odd little knickknacks decorating every shelf. It's to the point where it's more her house than Jack's house.
Yep, yep. And
So-
when you're coming home, these particular evenings, very late, there's gonna be like a note on the kitchen table saying, there's leftovers in the fridge, you can micro it. But she's already asleep. This happens a great many times.
Jack just sighs. Jack just sighs. Was what the note says.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
makes herself the umpteenth cup of coffee today.
That would make sense.
Very rare that she actually sleeps.
Shared
That was
bedroom?
for 8 hours. Oh, what was that?
Shared bedroom? I don't know.
Oh no, they have separate rooms.
Okay.
Yeah. Sometimes they sleep in each other's bedrooms.
I bet they do.
That's a bit of an off year for them.
Oh, sad. Sad but true. I think it's going to become even more of an off year for some people. Because, of course, like so many other times, not so many other times, it's been exactly once before, let's face it. It's been exactly once before. But there will be a call on a special phone for Fenton, apparently, because you're now the contact, aren't you?
Hello?
Very electronic voice this morning. This is Monday in March 30th, 1997. And it's going to be early in the morning, obviously. And this morning, you just might have a conversation with your girlfriend, Fenton. Yeah, she wants to tell you something. And she's going to show you a stick. A plastic stick.
With only one red line, yeah?
No!
Huh. Huh.
And she's looking at Fenton expectantly when the special phone calls.
Benson is just going to stare at her and let the phone ring for a long time before he goes, we will talk about this. I need it, and I go outside to answer the phone.
Oh my god. I should just crush the bond immediately for that response. But I won't, because I'm nice that way. Yeah, you will hear a voice saying, "You are cordially invited to a night at the opera. Arrangements have been made for you to meet your escort at Lambert Airport, St. Louis, Missouri. Be seeing you."
And Fenton is just going to stare at the cars as they pass by before turning around to go inside and hug Laura, not be an asshole.
That's
Tell
nice.
her and be happy and tell her the bad news that I have to go away on a trip and probably get into another fight.
You know what? If it's like FBI related, I think she understands better that stuff, because FBI is FBI, and there's been some very public FBI things happening in the past few years. The Oklahoma City bombing, Waco, etc., etc. The FBI has just been a lot in the public eye in the 90s compared to the 80s, I think. And as such, she accepts that you're gonna be called away because bad guys don't care about things like this. It's when you're suddenly in New York, and are you lying to her about why you were in New York? Or is that, oh, this is part of the FBI? And she's gonna be a bit like, is it really? But apparently not, because the one who you lost the bond to was in fact your Fairfield, not her. So far, you're almost getting away with it. It's just enough to get away with it. But for how long, we'll find out.
I'm gonna look at her and go, when this job's done, I'm gonna take some time off, and then we're gonna start planning for the new future and give her a big hug, but also just stare into the distance while I do with so much on my mind now.
She will give you a very nice pat on the cheek, a kiss, and arrange your hair a little bit so it fits better under your hat.
Aww. I'll wear the new one she got me.
She definitely did. Blair, what are you doing this morning?
She's probably not working at the office, but reviewing patient files. So somewhat working.
Well, isn't that nice? Which means you have your coffee, you have your files, you have your special phone going off.
Yeah, she'll answer it.
You are cordially invited to a night at the opera. Arrangements have been made for you to meet your escort at Lambert Airport, St. Louis, Missouri. Be seeing you.
She just sighs and hangs up.
That is a reasonable reaction, isn't
Yep, time to pack.
it? Yep. What is Cora in the middle of when she gets the call?
I think Cora Franny, has decided that Morrigan just needs somebody to talk to.
That
So
must be
I
the case.
have started coming around with conversation cards and a coffee.
Okay. Oh my god.
What's your favorite movie?
So
Good
that
morning,
is
also.
when both your phones, special phones, ring at once, and I guess you're just staring at each other at that point.
Fuck. What were you gonna say anyway? What was your answer?
What, me?
Yeah?
Oh no, Jack says absolutely nothing.
Beep-a-deep, 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 says
Just
that
phone
it's
notes are here.
1997, and they don't have polyphonic phone signals yet. Beep-a-deep, beep-a-deep, beep-a-deep.
Before I answer it, I just go, I thought Interview with the Vampire was good. I answer it.
You are cordially invited to a night at the opera. Arrangements have been made for you to meet your escort at Lambert Airport, St. Louis, Missouri. Be seeing you.
Need a lift to the airport?
Morrigan will, of course,
I
also
guess.
hear the same message. It's the first time you've heard it. Delta Green has code speak, and a night at the opera means it's time for an op, which means an operation.
Opera. Okay.
Opera operation, yeah.
Oh, I got the situation. I got the situation. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe you can finally answer that question on the way.
What was that?
Your favorite movie?
Alright. Favorite movie?
Yeah?
How would I have one of those?
I don't know, you ever see one you like? I liked Interview with the Vampire. Funny.
I've seen a lot of movies. I don't think I've ever paid attention for any of those.
We'll just have to start a movie night
I
then.
think there's one with like lasers, swords.
Oh,
that
Star
you
Wars?
took me out to see once.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah, that. Yeah, Star whatever.
Star whatever, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Luke. I am your
Something about a bed and a high ground.
That's not.
Either way, it wasn't really relevant, so it's whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I think we need to go to the airport.
Indeed.
Yep.
So it is that Z-Cell is gonna head towards St. Louis, Missouri. We can add another pin to the operational map. Davy's Landing, Phoenix. Oh, I haven't added Groversville on this one. I feel like I'm missing out on my homework here. That's sad. That's gonna be somewhere like that, right? Ish.
So sad. We're back in the area.
I can always make it slightly more precise. There. Slightly updated. We don't know if the op itself this time is actually going to be in St. Louis, or if that's just St. Louis, or if that's just the closest airport. But we will, for this time, leave our intrepid agents in the airport. And you know what? This time there is apparently nobody doing bureaucracy shenanigans to get a first class ticket to go to St. Louis. Sadly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Unless any of you want to do it as some kind of homage.
Why not? Why don't we all try? In honor.
Bureaucracy roll.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's about what I expected.
Two of you will at least learn more about bureaucracy.
Yes.
True.
And Fenton is going to be the one who manages to get you good seats at the very least.
Yay.
So you're going to be nicely grouped up, all in the same row on the airplane. It's going to be a 2-hour ride to get to St. Louis, Missouri. And whatever awaits you there, which we will find out next week at the same time and the same channel. Thank you very much to anyone who tuned in and watched Z-Cell trying to have some R and regain some sanity. I think some of them were successful. And of course, next time we will maybe see some of those sanity points deteriorate again, because it's Delta Green. And yeah, so I guess next time I'll welcome you all to the new age. See you then.